Ladies and gentlemen, a key Union Cabinet meeting is likely to take place today at 6:30 p.m. And this is amidst the ongoing special session of the Parliament. Now, reports claim that the Prime Minister has convened the meeting of the Union Cabinet. His meeting is expected to be held in one of the Parliament Annex A building. The agenda of the meeting is not yet revealed. So that's going to be our prime focus at this moment on NDTV, because remember, the Prime Minister today, when the special session of the Parliament began, said that this session is going to be a historic session. Some historic decisions are going to take place as far as this session is concerned. Remember, today, the entire day was dedicated to Member of Parliament led by the Prime Minister himself, talking about their affinity and memories as far as the old Parliament building is concerned. This is also the session where the Parliament, the current parliamentarians shift from the old Parliament building, the historic old Parliament building, to the new one which has recently been completed. At this moment, in fact, the Prime Minister did speak about certain very, very important issues. But before I play out what the Prime Minister said, remember, as the Prime Minister hinted about historic decisions, a lot of speculation is going on at this moment. So what could be on the cards is something that everybody is talking about, whether it is the bill for the OBC reservation in Lok Sabha and the assemblies. Because remember, the OBC census reservation, that's the politics that the opposition is driving to try and break the BJP's stronghold, or at least answer BJP's Hindutva politics with the OBC politics that the opposition is focusing on. Whether it can be the women reservation bill, this is also going to be historic and would in fact have far-reaching political consequences. The One Nation, One Election is also something that people are talking about. Uniform Civil Code is one important issue that is in fact being discussed. And remember, the Prime Minister himself have spoken about it for some time now. Before, in fact, we try and analyze this and see what is actually going to happen and the impact of this big decision, what could that be? Let's just first listen in to what the Prime Minister said at the beginning of the Parliament session today.
संसद का ये सत्र, इस पार्श्वभूमि में संसद का ये सत्र, ये सही है कि सत्र छोटा है, लेकिन समय के हिसाब से ये बहुत बड़ा है। ऐतिहासिक निर्णयों का एक सत्र है।
All right, let me go across to my colleague Sunil Prabhu, who is joining us with more details on this. Sunil, the Prime Minister literally, in fact, set everybody thinking of what could those historic decisions be. Your guess, my guess, everybody's guess is as good as anybody who is watching this broadcast at this moment. But what are we picking up about this cabinet meeting?
Well, three important points. There has been some movement on the women's reservation bill. There has been a backfile that they have taken. This is being done at a very close quarters at the Prime Minister's office level. I have been able to speak to certain top officials who have indicated very categorically, don't expect too much. This is a short session, but definitely one of them is that the women's reservation bill is likely in all probability might be considered. Having said that, the issue, of course, is something that they will need to take into account because there is already the bill that has been passed in the Rajya Sabha in 2010, and it's in that backdrop where if they bring it in the same form, then it will have to be passed. It really doesn't require need to go back to the Rajya Sabha and whatever decision they take. If it's not that, then it's anybody's guess is there. But as they said, it's a short session. Don't expect too much. But definitely the aim is to signify the shift from the old building to the new building. And that's the most important point at this present juncture.
You know, Sunil, very interesting information that you are giving us. But You know, I remember today when Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary was speaking, Sonia Gandhi also prompted him to speak about the women reservation bill. Before this session began, the opposition has been saying that issues like the women reservation bill and also about price rise and all, unemployment should be taken up. If that does come through, politically speaking, close to the elections of important states and then leading up to 2024, who will get the credit? Will the government walk away with all the credit, or can the opposition also claim some credit as far as the women reservation bill is concerned?
Well, this is a constitutional amendment and you need bipartisan support because you need two-thirds majority in both houses of parliament. One, of course, has already done it many years ago. It's in the same backdrop that you will also need to have the legislatures passing this. You know, you need to have at least 50% of the state legislatures in agreement with the constitutional amendment before it is ratified and signed by the President of India. The last we saw was in 2014, which was finally struck down by the Supreme Court, the National Judicial Appointments Commission. And it's in that backdrop that, there was near unanimity at that time. It was passed in record speed. It was also passed by state assemblies. And yet, when it went to the Supreme Court, it was struck down. So, taking credit is easier said than done. It needs bipartisan support. And definitely, everybody would like to claim credit, especially in election year. It's anybody's guess. It's ultimately the person who passes it who has to take it forward. But please be prepared for any surprises because right now, officially, the agenda hasn't been circulated. It will be a table item at the cabinet meeting at 6:30. And as I indicated, it's a short session. These are the clues that we've got and clearly to signify the shifting from the old to the new. So what exactly will come up is something, of course, in all probability, women's reservation bill, as you saw yesterday, was discussed at length at the all-party meeting where there was more or less a consensus from all political parties, barring the Samajwadi Party and others who wanted a reservation for women through the OBC quota also.
All right. Sunil is going to keep a very, very close eye. As he said, there are some clues. He was trying to decipher those clues for our viewers on what could this very important cabinet meeting be about and whether it does give any indication about what the Prime Minister said in the morning that there could be historic decisions. Let me also bring in my colleague Akhilesh, who is joining us at this moment. Akhilesh, the agenda of this cabinet meeting is not clear. The Prime Minister, as I was asking Sunil, has already got a lot of interest of the viewers, of people, of parliamentarians, of political parties at its peak because he said some historic decisions are going to be taken. Any clue that we are picking up on what's happening as far as this agenda is concerned of the cabinet?
Well, Ankit, so far no clue. But of course, speculation is on since the day the special session was announced. But today, in fact, is a very crucial day. Being the first day of this special session, we have seen a lot of activities happening in the Parliament House. There was a meeting at Prime Minister Narendra Modi's chamber in the Parliament House where senior ministers were present. And after that, there were also series of meetings among the ministers. In fact, as we are speaking, there was just a meeting concluded at Party President JP Nadda's chamber in the Parliament House where senior ministers like Mr. Dharmendra Pradhan, Mr. Anurag Thakur, Pralhad Joshi were present. So ministers, of course, not giving any hint what's going to happen in the cabinet meeting or in the coming days in the special session of Parliament. But of course, there's a strong speculation that the Modi government may bring women reservation bill to give 33% reservation to women in Lok Sabha and also in the state assemblies. This has been a long-hold promise of the BJP. In the past also, the BJP has supported this. And of course, keeping the upcoming elections in mind, this may actually pay rich political dividends to the BJP. But of course, it's just a speculation. So far, there's no confirmation. But of course, the cabinet meeting is going to start anytime now. And after that, the agenda has not been told to the ministers in advance. The agenda is under wraps. Nobody is going to talk about the agenda so far. But of course, after this cabinet meeting, there will be some sort of clarity about the government's agenda as far as this session is concerned.
Akhilesh, thank you. So our team of political, reporters, senior people, those who have been covering the parliament, the various political parties for many, many years, are in fact will be getting us the latest from this Parliament session and also from this very, very crucial meeting that is going to take place of the Cabinet at 6:30. Remember, the Parliament, both the houses have been adjourned and are going to meet tomorrow post 1:15 p.m. Now, speaking about the historic shift from the old building to the new, today was the day of remembering some of the historic decisions which have been taken under this building of the old Parliament building. In fact, the Prime Minister spoke about the journey of the old Parliament building, and he also spoke about all the Prime Ministers, including Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, Indira Gandhi, and then, of course, coming up to Atal Bihari Vajpayee and Dr. Manmohan Singh as well. Take a look.
आदरणीय अध्यक्ष जी, सबका साथ, सबका विकास का मंत्र, अनेक ऐतिहासिक निर्णय, दशकों से लंबित विषय, उनका स्थायी समाधान भी इसी सदन में हुआ। आर्टिकल 370, ये सदन हमेशा हमेशा गर्व के साथ कहेगा कि सदन के कारण वन नेशन वन टैक्स, वन नेशन वन टैक्स, जीएसटी का निर्णय भी इसी सदन ने किया। वन रैंक वन पेंशन, ओआरओपी, ये भी इसी सदन ने देखा। गरीबों के लिए 10% आरक्षण कोई विवाद के बिना पहली बार इस देश में करने में। आदरणीय अध्यक्ष जी, ये वो सदन है जहां पंडित जी को इसलिए भी याद किएगा, अनेक बातों के लिए याद करेगा, लेकिन हम जरूर याद करेंगे, इसी सदन में पंडित नेहरू का एट द स्ट्रोक ऑफ मिडनाइट की गूंज हम सबको प्रेरित करती रहेगी।
Meanwhile, the opposition leaders, in fact, speaking at this moment, both Mr. Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary in Lok Sabha and Mallikarjun Kharge in Rajya Sabha, while remembering their tenure as parliamentarians, also took on the government.
आप कहां से 75 साल की अमृतकाल ये लाया गया, ये मुझे समझ में नहीं आते हैं। Naturally, we are all present here to bid the adieu of our old building. In an interview with Mr. P.K. Karanjia, he specifically mentioned, "You are wrong in using words like the Nehru epoch or Nehru policy." Though he enjoyed massive majority in the parliament, he was tireless in listening opposition voice and never mock, deflect, pontificate when answering questions asked of him.
बदलना है तो अब हालात बदलो, बदलना है तो अब हालात बदलो, ऐसे नाम बदलने से क्या होता है। देना है तो युवाओं को रोजगार दो, सबको बेरोजगार करके क्या होता है। दिल को थोड़ा बड़ा करके देखो, लोगों को मारने से क्या होता है। दिल को थोड़ा बड़ा करके देखो, लोगों के मारने से क्या होता है। कुछ कर नहीं सकते तो कुर्सी छोड़ दो। बात बात में डराने से क्या होता है। बात में डराने से क्या होता है। अपनी हुक्मरानी पर तुम्हें गुरूर है, लोगों को डराने से धमकाने से क्या होता है। बदलना है तो अब हालात बदलो, ऐसे नाम बदलने से क्या होता है, और यहाँ से वहाँ जाने से और क्या होने वाला है। अटल जी ने अपने कार्यकाल में 21 बार बयान दिया। अटल जी ने अपने कार्यकाल में 21 बार बयान दिया 6 साल में। डॉक्टर मनमोहन सिंह जी ने 30 बार बयान दिया। केवल हमारे मौजूदा पीएम साहब ही ऐसे हैं जो सदन में 9 सालों में कस्टमरी बयानों को छोड़ के केवल 2 बार बोले। ये डेमोक्रेसी है साहब। अब इसको क्या कैसा सुधारते मैं आपको ही छोड़ देता हूँ।
All right, so the opposition and the government, in fact, at it on day when there is a historic change that is taking place from the old building of the Parliament, the historic old building, to, in fact, the new building of the Parliament.